Is this the biggest fight in boxing this decade? Imagine Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis, two of the most exciting fighters in the sport, finally facing off in the ring to settle the score. The stakes are incredibly high, the rumors are rampant, and the anticipation is growing. But are we only raising our expectations again, or is this fight actually happening? What is the true background to this potential clash and why is it important to you? Let's explore the tension-building drama, the contentious issues, and the negotiations that surround this matchup. Let's start by discussing the build-up. Tank Davis has been the target of Shakur Stevenson's pursuit for what seems like ages. He has expressed his desire for this fight to take place loudly and almost desperately, and he's clearly prepared to accept the challenge. The twist is that Tank's camp has been acting almost too cool. Do they think Shakur is undervalued, or are they merely biding their time until the perfect opportunity presents itself? This is about more than just two fighters, it's about two personalities, two plans, and two very different game styles. Consider this: Shakur is the kind of fighter who frustrates his opponents with his smooth, technical technique. He possesses intelligence, speed, and skill. However, Tank is incredibly strong. His knockout punches are well known for having the ability to stop a fight in an instant. So, what happens when a relentless, aggressive puncher confronts a deft, defensive wizard? This is the kind of fight that could go down in boxing history, but only if it takes place. Isn't that the crucial question? Will it happen? The boxing community has experienced this before, building anticipation for a major match that never materializes. We've witnessed negotiations break down, conflicts stall until they become dull, and egos stand in the way of confrontations. Do you recall when everyone was talking about Tank and Naoya Inoue getting into a fight? The drama surrounding the weight class was a major factor in why that bout didn't happen. Tank wasn't going to give in, and Inoue wasn't ready to move up. It was a missed opportunity that left fans wondering what might have been. But here's where things get intriguing. Turki Alalshikh, a crucial player behind the scenes in some of the biggest fights in boxing, is now totally committed to making Shakur vs. Tank a reality. He's the one who has been adamantly advocating for the finest fights, the ones that fans genuinely want to watch. And he doesn't hide it. He's turned his focus from other possible fights, such as Canelo vs. Crawford, to what might be the most thrilling bout of the year, or perhaps the decade, by making it his mission to make this fight happen. The presence of Turki adds even more mystery. He has a reputation for pulling off major coups, navigating the complex world of boxing negotiations, and persuading opponents to accept conditions that were previously unattainable. But with this one, even he has his work cut out for him. Tank and Shakur each have their own teams, goals, and expectations for their careers. Can Turki pull this off as well? And what will happen to boxing in the future if he does? Let's examine the fighters themselves now. Shakur Stevenson is not your typical competitor. He is an undefeated two-time world champion who is truly yearning for a match that will make a lasting impression on the boxing world. Although he can outbox practically anyone, will he be able to hold Tank off? That's the key question. Shakur has been talking a big game, but he understands that facing Tank in the ring will be a very different experience. It's not just about winning, it's about withstanding the kind of assault Tank is known for. Conversely, Tank Davis is more than just a strong puncher. He may have the knockout power that everyone talks about, but he's also a skilled fighter. He knows how to set traps, trick opponents into making mistakes, and then use those mistakes to his advantage with devastating efficiency. The problem is that Tank has never encountered anyone quite like Shakur. This fight would put him to the test in ways he has never been tested before. Could he stand up to Shakur's defense and speed? Could he deliver that decisive blow when it mattered? Or would Shakur prove to be too elusive and clever for Tank to catch? The stakes are incredibly high for both fighters. Shakur believes that defeating Tank would launch his career, silence his critics, and demonstrate that he is not just a skilled fighter but a true champion. For Tank, the goal of this fight is to establish his supremacy over all others, not merely to defend his titles. It's about proving to the world that he can defeat anyone, including a fighter with Shakur's kind of skill, and win. However, we must not overlook the business aspect of things. Boxing is a business, not just a sport, so the numbers need to add up for all parties. That's usually when things get complicated. Shakur's camp has stated clearly that they are open to negotiations as long as the terms are favorable. They're searching for the right fight, with the appropriate payoff, not just any fight. Tank's group is aware of this and won't allow Shakur to set the terms. This fight could go either way before it's even announced, thanks to a delicate dance of negotiations. And what about the fans? They're the ones who have been anticipating this showdown, sometimes with a sense of impatience. After being teased with the possibility, they're now anxiously awaiting word on whether this is really it. Will their long-awaited confrontation finally happen? Or will everything collapse? just like so many other potential fights before. The issue of timing is another critical factor. December is rapidly approaching, and time is of the essence if this fight is to take place. Contracts must be signed, training camps must be established, and promotional tours must be organized. There is no margin for error when putting together a fight of this magnitude. The logistics are massive. However, Turki Alalshikh is making a lot of effort, so there's hope that everything will come together in time. Here's something else to consider: the future. If Shakur and Tank square off, it could pave the way for even bigger fights down the line. Think about it, the winner of this match will be in a prime position to challenge other top competitors in the division. Potential opponents could include Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and possibly even a rematch with Vasyl Lomachenko. The possibilities are endless, which is why this fight is so crucial. What happens next matters more than who wins on that night. So, what's the final word? Is this fight happening? Will Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson actually square off in December? All signs point to yes, but in boxing, nothing is certain until the contracts are signed and the fighters step into the ring. However, one thing is certain: if this fight takes place, it will be remembered for years to come. Fans will talk about this fight for a long time because it will define careers and cement legacies. As we wait for the official announcement, the anticipation is only going to build. The tension is mounting, there are a lot of unanswered questions, and the stakes are getting higher. Will Shakur's skills be enough to outbox Tank? Will Tank's power be too much for Shakur to handle? And who will prove to be the true king of the ring? These are the kinds of questions that make boxing so thrilling, so unpredictable, and so utterly captivating. But there's more to this story. The drama surrounding Tank's previous demands adds another level of interest. You may remember the story about Tank asking for 2 Ferraris before agreeing to participate in a fight in Saudi Arabia. That demand highlighted the complexities of negotiating high-profile fights, especially when big personalities are involved. Never one to back down, Turki famously retorted that if Tank was serious about fighting, he'd rather send him 2 boxing gloves. This back and forth shows how much is at stake in both the talks that take place behind the scenes and in the ring. It's about more than just the fight itself, it's about the drama, the ego, and the desire to be the best. And that's why fans are so excited about the possibility of Shakur vs. Tank. As December approaches, the excitement will only continue to grow. This fight could be the one that defines the fighters' careers and leaves a lasting impact on the sport. And we know that with Turki Alalshikh at the helm, anything is possible. He's proven time and time again that he can make the impossible happen. And this fight is no exception. So, as we wait for the official announcement, let's take a moment to appreciate the journey that has brought us here. This is the essence of boxing, from the setbacks and negotiations to the thrill and anticipation. It's about the intensity of the fight, the drama that surrounds it, and the passion of the fans who are eager to see it all unfold. Will Shakur Stevenson finally get his shot at Tank Davis? Will Tank prove that he's still the king of the ring? We'll find out soon enough, but one thing is certain: nobody will want to miss this clash. Keep an eye out, because December is quickly approaching and promises to be one of the most thrilling months in boxing history. Are you ready? There's an undeniable buzz in the air as boxing fans wait anxiously. Shakur vs. Tank isn't just another fight, it's the fight. This type of showdown has the potential to change everything, paving the way for even bigger fights in the future and defining the careers of 2 of the sport's biggest names. And let's be honest, the thrill, the drama, and the sheer unpredictability of it all, that's why we love boxing. But what if it doesn't happen? What if the negotiations fail and all we're left with are what ifs? That's the risk in a sport like boxing, where the business side can sometimes overshadow the sport itself. But that's also what makes it so captivating. Every fight, every negotiation, every twist and turn is part of a bigger story that keeps us all hooked, wondering what will happen next. And what if this fight is just the beginning? Imagine the possibilities if Shakur vs. Tank delivers on all the hype. We could see a whole new era of boxing with these 2 fighters leading the charge. It could open the door to matchups we've only dreamed of, pitting the best against the best and giving fans the kind of action they crave. So, as we count down the days to December, let's keep asking the big questions. Let's keep the conversation going, keep the excitement alive, and keep our fingers crossed that this fight lives up to the hype. Because if it does, it could be one of those rare moments in sports that we'll remember for years to come. Are you ready for the fight of the decade? Are you ready to see who will emerge as the true champion? The countdown has begun, and we're all in for one incredible ride.